Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. XRP has not had a new all-time high in over 6 years. But what's about to happen is going to leave the naysayers absolutely speechless. All the toxic Bitcoin maxi trolls, all of the people who do hold XRP but have had their hope and faith crushed. Because, I get it. Emotions are hard in the crypto space. It's very volatile. You put your hard-earned money into something like XRP, and then it tortures you with sideways and downward price action if you've been in it long enough, literally for years on end. I get that. But, in terms of what we should suspect is most likely to happen next, the data is the data. The history is the history. I want to show you where we are at in this market cycle, and I also want to highlight that although, yes, XRP is lagging behind, which, by the way, is normal, tons of coins are. In fact, a ton of the coins that I hold are way lagging behind. It's not just XRP. It's just that, most of you out there listening, you're going to have a handful of coins, whatever that number is for you. And especially the ones you put more money into, you're going to be hyper-focused on those, and I understand that. But that will result in you feeling like you have missed the boat, like you have made the poor investment decision because you see on social media everything popping off but what you hold. At least that's what it'll make you feel like. Well, the truth is most coins are not popping off at any given moment, and most of the coins that will pop off you'll never own because there's over 20,000 of them. And so there's this psychological thing that happens to people. It just, they beat themselves, oh my God, I did the wrong thing. I bought the wrong stuff. Chill, that's not what's happening here. And in fact, so it's been over 6 years since XRP hit a new all-time high, but that's because of the SEC. XRP is the only top 10 coin that didn't hit a new all-time high last cycle. Duh, why might that be? Because of the litigation. That's the one thing that was dramatically different. But as a result of that, it's had time to range and consolidate further, so when it does finally blow, yes, it's going to melt some faces. But before going further, I do want to be clear. I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. As I record this video, it is 11:36 p.m. on Friday, April 26, 2024. XRP is right at 52 cents. Bitcoin at $63,207. You got the crypto fear and greed index at 67 out of 100, so we're still in greed, but not extreme greed. So what we're seeing is a continuation of the range that we're in for the entire crypto asset class led by Bitcoin, but it's not going to stay here. Hang with me, you're going to love this video. This is going to be very uplifting, especially if you felt a bit beaten down by recent price action. Just know that's because you are a normal human. I'm the weirdo that doesn't get hit by this anymore. I did used to, though. I did used to in my early days. But the emotions just don't hit me like this. So you are normal if you're feeling a little beaten down by this. But let me lift up your spirits, because it doesn't make logical sense to be in that fear mode if you're one of those people. So here's a post from chart analyst Mikey Bull Crypto. This is just a Bitcoin USD chart. It's important to track Bitcoin even if you don't own it because it leads the market. If you want your altcoins to do well, you better want Bitcoin to do well. Watch what's happening with Bitcoin even if you don't hold it, or even if you do hold it and you're like me but you don't really care about it that much, track it. And so here's what Mikey Bull Crypto had to say this morning. Bitcoin on a daily chart forming a bull continuation pattern. According to Wyckoff's law of cause and effect, the longer the consolidation, the more explosive the markup will be. So that is what's happening right now. And he wrote here also, bull flags are among the most reliable of continuation patterns and only rarely produce a trend reversal. So that's one more consideration you can take into account. That would lead you to believe what's most probable is a continuation to the upside for Bitcoin. But then when I see this, I'm also thinking, okay, so how long has XRP been ranging? And I've seen analysts argue like, it's been ranging 6 years. Effectively, it's been ranging 6 years. And again, like they say here, the longer the consolidation, the more explosive the markup. That's just how this stuff tends to go. And yes, it's true that we would have seen a bigger blast in 2021. But I mean, you could look at everything that's happened since the all-time high as a range. Again, I've seen reputable analysts look at it that way. And what do you think happens when it finally breaks? Because again, my bet from the earliest of days was either XRP goes to zero or it's a new all-time high. It can't stay in this range forever. What do you think is most probable? Has it just been has it just been some sort of oops-a-doodles by speculators the world over that XRP, despite SEC action, has always been in the top 10 coins by market cap? And then at the moment when the bull market starts, everyone's they're just going to change their mind after over a decade, despite holding on to it throughout the SEC lawsuit. Oh, we were all wrong collectively. All of us humans on a global scale, we all now agree we made a mistake. It doesn't make sense, and it's actually just going to go out of the top 10 and go to zero. Does that make actual sense? I don't think so. Here's another post. This is also from Mikey Bull Crypto. This is the total to chart. So it's the altcoin market cap, everything, altcoin market cap, everything but Bitcoin. And he wrote here altcoins. You can see, for those who are not looking, I'll describe. There's two charts, one on the left and one on the right. The one on the left is from the last market cycle, leading into that, and you can see the explosive move. And the one on the right is where we are now. And you'll notice that where we are now, structurally, looks very samey compared to last market cycle. And looking at this, just use your human eyeballs. You don't have to be a chart guy, and I'm not. You can just look at some very basic data and figure this out. Where might be? And, is it likely that history is going to kind of rhyme with itself? Probably, yeah. And so he wrote, altcoins, the back test is fully done and is currently on consolidation for markup continuation as in the previous cycle. Remember, good news always ends the bull market, while bad news always signals the bottom. And I know that'll sound completely inverse if you're brand new to crypto. Wait a minute. When the market's over and it's the worst time to be jumping in, that's when there's good news? And when it's most scary and it'll make me feel like I shouldn't be jumping in, that's when I should be jumping in? Yes. That is exactly the case. And right now, what is the narrative? It's a bit more fearful than, a little over a month ago, isn't it? Well, I'm telling you, once this thing is at the top, when we have that first major pullback that is the end, you're going to see the behavior will be, people will be like, oh, no, it's just going to continue the upside. You won't see that level of fear immediately. You won't see, and I'll point it out when it happens, because it happens every time, because it's just humans, people going to people. It's just human nature continuing to play out the way it does. Because we're wired the way that we're wired, and that's just how it is. But isn't this... So you can see, look here, last cycle, look where I'm circling if you're looking at the screen. Here's the back test for all of the altcoins, and went back down. And we'd already started moving up dramatically, but we saw this move down. Same thing here, moving up dramatically. Oh, moving back down. Everybody's scared. Oh my God, it's the end of the world. Altcoins are never going to go, but then they go. Here's a post from chart analyst TechDev. It's a Bitcoin USD chart, but Bollinger Bands. Been talking a fair bit about this recently, and I say, well, now TechDev, by the way, I've been following this guy for probably almost the whole time I've been in crypto, like 5 or 6 years. There's a reason he has 447,000 followers on X. He's just a logical, data-driven dude, and he's sharing this chart, Bitcoin price chart, and he's got some Bollinger Bands on here, talking about max compression. This applies to XRP, which is why I want to highlight this again. I'm sorry if I'm belaboring a point too much in recent days, but it's important. And he writes here, this is Bitcoin 2-month candle. Bitcoin's 2-month candle is right on the candle body high, soon after max compression, as RSI is about to break 70. These have been the conditions which led to the last 3 parabolic accelerations. I suspect this next 2-month candle will be as tall as November 2020's. Okay, so a couple things to point out here where I'm circling for those of you looking at the screen. That's November 2020. That candle's a big boy. That's a big old boy right there. And what he's saying is something kind of like that is what we're about to see ahead of us. So people feeling down, oh my God, is it going to happen? Did I make a mistake jumping into this crazy crypto thing with all of the magic internet money? Well, probably not. Probably not a problem. Flop that candle right there. It's going to be looking pretty good, and sentiment's going to change a lot, don't you think? And also look at the compression here with the Bollinger Bands. See how they get more narrow here? At each point before the major move. That's because when you see these Bollinger Bands, even though it's not an indicator in and of itself of bullishness or bearishness, it is an indication that because this compression is here, there's going to be an explosive move. And then you can look at the rest of what's happening in the space to draw a conclusion about what's most probable directionally. Because sometimes you get the tightening of Bollinger Bands and you do see a move to the downside. But in bull markets, what do you think is most probable? A day? And so here you see all these market cycles. That's 3, just up, up, up. This is the moment that we're at right now, which is why when I've shared this chart, and it's been shared by lots of people, this one by Good Morning Crypto, it's the same thing with XRP. 2017, in 2020, and we're there right now. It's the part before it goes. Then there's this, and so I want to highlight this. Okay, this is important for all of you XRP holders out there. there are so many people that feel like, oh my God, but what if XRP isn't going to go? Oh my God, what if, did I pick the wrong coin? Chill out. This is where it's good. This is where it's a good reason to come to Uncle Moon Lambo. Gather on the fire, children. Story time with Uncle Moon Lambo. Because it does not make sense to be fearful here. And to make the case, there was this post from a charting guy, and just several hours ago he wrote, just tripled my Algorand position. And then somebody was confused by this. He's like, why? He says, but why Algorand when it's among one of the least performing asset till date? And yet, just, this is the money. Nothing against this guy. He must not know better. But think last market cycle. You know, was it better to buy Bitcoin like when it was worth thousands of dollars, or was it better like a few thousand, or was it better to buy Bitcoin when it was $70,000 after? Because think about it, when it's worth just a few $1,000s, that's not a very good performance there. That's a poor performance, right? Is that a good time to buy it? Well, by his thinking, no, that's a bad time to buy it when Bitcoin's only a few $1,000s, not ran to 70 grand. So then it's a good time to buy it. So that's the logic that he is unfortunately using with Algorand here. But the point I want to make is people use this logic not just with XRP, but with every coin. Every coin out there before it goes, oh my God, it's horrible. What have I done? And I think that the charting guy does a great job making that case here. So he reposted what I just shared with you from that guy saying, but why would you buy Algorand? The performance, it's terrible. Oh my God. And he wrote, charting guy wrote, that is the exact reason. The lagging alts will catch up to the leaders. And then he names a bunch, and I'm going to read them to you. I want to make a point here. Laggards like XRP, XLM, XDC, Algorand, HBAR, Cardano, Litecoin, Polygon, Ethereum Classic, Filecoin, and more will catch up to the leaders like Solana, INJ, Render, etc. This is where the opportunity lies, in my opinion. And so I just want to highlight, think about this. Out of all these coins he listed, how many are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? Yeah, there are. Okay, so here's the funny thing. I think I checked before recording. I think I own 9 of them. Here, I'll double check again. I own that. XRP, XLM. I don't have XDC. I have Algorand, HBAR, Cardano, Litecoin, Matic, Ethereum Classic, and Filecoin. Yeah, I got 9 out of the 10 he listed, and those are all laggards. They're all, not just XRP, they're all lagging behind right now. Until one day they're not, because again, like I just showed you, where was that altcoin chart? Here's the altcoin chart, everything but Bitcoin back on your screen again. All of those coins that I hold, you know, because I hold 9 out of the 10 that he listed, they're lagging. So this would, by that guy's logic, this would be a terrible time to be holding them, right? Oh my God, or to buy them now? Is it though? What about, what's this chart tell you? Can you draw upon wisdom from the past to suppose what is probable in the future? I think yes. Now, nothing's a guarantee, and I'm not telling you to buy or not buy. I'm just sharing my thoughts on the topic. I'm just a dude on the internet. There's nothing special about me, but I think that I'm capable of applying common sense and, you know, doing basic things like looking at the past and drawing reasonable conclusions about what is perhaps likely to occur in the future. That's fair, right? I think so. And so it's not just XRP. They lag behind until suddenly they don't. And all of these coins are going to lift up to whatever degree at various moments in the cycle. And it doesn't mean that all of them are going to hit new all-time highs necessarily. I mean, I hope they do. I'll be scaling out at different, I have different levels of confidence for various coins. Like, for instance, just off the top of my head, I can tell you there are 2 that I will not sell below all-time high. That would be XRP and HBAR, for example. There are certain other coins, and maybe that'll be true for other coins. I'm just saying off the top of my head. I don't have, like, memorized my full analysis of everything as I purchased every single coin that I hold, because I have 42 different cryptocurrencies because I've been here for over 6 years. But a lot of the coins, to be honest with you, a lot of the coins I hold, I will be selling below all-time highs. I'm just going to get a multiplier from where we're at right now, whether it's 4, 5, 6-fold, whatever it is. That's going to be more than enough, because a lot of the stuff that I bought more recently is just like icing on the cake. So, but that's a whole different conversation. That's not the reason that I even brought this up here. So what's going to happen? It's going to leave everybody speechless, all of the XRP haters, all the naysayers, because what they fail to recognize in stating XRP is just not going to go is that the asset class moves in tandem. This is not rocket science. And yeah, I understand. Perhaps most of the coins that exist now, based on what happened last market cycle, maybe most of them, or at least a lot of them, aren't going to hit a new all-time high. Okay, fine. But doesn't that still represent a ton of opportunity? I mean, I say yes. And so it's going to be a messy process, but my God, there's so much money to be made here. I'm down for it. 100% I'm down for this. So, all that to say, it doesn't make logical sense to be fearful. I understand why humans get fearful, but if you can't eventually figure this out, the people that can't eventually get a control on their emotions, they don't make it. They get shaken out of their positions. They get shaken out of the market. It's over for them. No life-changing wealth. That is what happens. Either you get a grasp on this and a handle on this, and your conviction's strong enough you know what you're doing, or if you don't, then that's that, I guess. So just it depends. Like, and I'll tell you, you want to know the real secret that I don't freak out when the market goes down? It's because I genuinely believe what I'm saying, and I genuinely don't care about the price action in the short term. It doesn't matter. I mean, I like to track it just because it's fun since I have skin in the game, so in that sense, sure. But I don't. It's not some sort of negative thing to me when the price goes down. There's no trick beyond that. If you want to call it a trick, it's that I genuinely believe what I'm saying. That's it. I genuinely have this conviction that the asset class gets way bigger. And I believe that even if I don't make profit on a bunch of the coins that I hold, I believe the ones where I do, it's going to be so outsized that it's not going to matter. That's why I have broad exposure to the asset class. It's not about one coin for me. Yeah, XRP is my largest holding, my favorite coin, but it's not just about XRP for me. I'd still be running a YouTube channel even if XRP ceased to exist tomorrow. Like, I'm here for crypto. Yeah, XRP is my favorite, and I'm sure that's true for a lot of you listening. But the reason that I make it through it to this degree is because I don't care. And I genuinely believe the asset class will keep getting bigger. I believe what I believe. And if you don't have that conviction, I think it's going to be a lot harder for you. So either you find the evidence and all the data compelling, or you don't. And if you're just at a point now where you're not sure, well, maybe just doing more research and getting familiarized and having more experience will help to increase that conviction. Or you're going to read the data a whole different way, and it's going to reduce your conviction, and maybe you'll say that, hey, it makes sense for me to get out. And those humans exist on this planet. They're humans that would just disagree with everything that I think about this. And there have been people that have had that position for the entirety of the existence of crypto, and for the last 15 years, they've been proven devastatingly wrong, and I think they will continue to be into the future. But there are those people. So which person are you? If you're not completely sold, maybe it's because you're new, or even if you've been here for years, maybe you have those moments where you're just kind of questioning, okay, but does this make sense? I mean, all I can say is in those moments when I used to feel that stuff, I just look into stuff more, and I do a review of like why I believe what I believe, and I try and find cracks in my belief, because if I'm wrong, I want to know. I genuinely mean, like, if I find that I'm wrong, or if I'm not, if I'm not sure, okay, then when I do research, if I'm wrong, I want to know that. That's what I'm saying, because I want to believe in life as many true things as possible. And if I'm mistakenly believing that crypto is going to work, or any individual coin is going to work, but I shouldn't believe that, I want to find that out so I can adjust my plan. But what I'm telling you is, as I've done this analysis for over 6 years consistently, my confidence gets further reinforced. So there's no trick to me not being emotional about price going to the downside, even dramatically. I've been through over 90% drops on coins, many of them, and I'm like, okay, whatever. There's no other trick to it. I just believe what I believe, and I have that conviction, and I'm so patient, I'll wait it out for years. That's what I'm doing with XRP. XRP is going to hit a new all-time high in enterprise discovery. I say it because that's my conviction. I don't literally know that. I could be wrong and it goes to zero, but I don't believe that's most probable. I really don't. I think the best is yet ahead. We've had a hell of a 2024, but my God, by the end of this year, going to be popping sharp, right? It's going to be so, like, the best is yet ahead. You can see where we're at in the cycle. If this cycle is going to even roughly rhyme with what happened in the last few cycles, yeah, this is an exciting time. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.